All right, everyone, we just wrapped day one of the Enrollify podcast Roadshow. And what we did primarily today was some canvassing. We went out in downtown Boston where there's dozens of schools and asked students what they think should change, if anything, about higher education. We are headed to Starbucks. We're gonna be offering some free coffee in exchange for a quick conversation with us, and we'll report back to let you know how it goes. So we asked these students a lot of questions around what they think should change, if anything, about higher education. And here were some of the more interesting insights we garnered during this first day of interviews. Insight number one of the things that several students said was that you should come into college without a declared major, right? When you're just starting out, you don't really know what you want. And really what the freshman year should be about is teaching you how to manage a budget, how to manage your time. You should be taking personality tests, right? You might have a general sense of what you want to do, but you don't always know how to get there. And the freshman year should really be focused on helping you learn a little bit more about the options available, the various career paths you could take to get to your goal. We asked several of our interviewees whether or not they had friends that decided not to go to college, and if so, why those friends had decided not to go to school. One particularly interesting insight came from a girl who talked about the fact that she was having a conversation with her older siblings who said that if you didn't go to college, folks kind of judged you. Whereas she said, I don't know, I've got a friend in a coding boot camp, another friend who's trying to make it on TikTok, a third friend who's trying to be a YouTube influencer, and honestly, I think that that's awesome. I didn't really think twice when they said that they weren't going to school. Meanwhile, here I am paying $70,000 to go to college, right? And they're making a lot of money in these ventures. One interviewee said that in order to make their final college decision, what they actually did was they called the alumni of the schools on their short list, and they asked those alumni what salaries and what job titles they had after 1, 3, and 5 years of graduation. They were trying to assess not their long-term earning potential, but their short-term earning potential. Would they be able to start paying, right, their student loans? Would they be able to be on a path towards a salary they actually wanted or not? And that information is what they used to make their final decision. One girl we talked to talked about this really cool co-op program that she was doing at Northeastern University. And what she said is it was the only choice for her because this co-op program, what it actually allowed her to do is get real work experience. So she takes classes for a semester, and then the next semester she goes and she works in her field. She works for a marketing agency, right? And then goes back to school and takes some more classes and then immediately transfers that knowledge into another professional context. And for her, she said, a lot of schools tout themselves as having experiential learning opportunities, but really what that looks like is like a semester-long internship in your senior year. And she's like, I know that employers, right? They want to hire people with real-world experience. So I specifically chose the program that I chose, this co-op program at Northeastern, because I wanted to have a full resume by the time I was actually searching for a job. One student that we talked to was actually studying film. And one of the interesting things that he said that really stood out to me was that he doesn't expect to learn anything, technically speaking, about how to shoot a movie because he already knows a lot. Instead, how he made his decision about where to go to school was actually based on psychology and sociology programs that were available at the respective institutions he was considering. So they had to have a film program, but he cared more about the quality of their psych programs because what he was really interested in getting from school was a better understanding of how people think and why they think the way that they think. Quick fact for you. 50% of the students that we talked to said that they chose the institution that they are now enrolled in because of the brand, while the other 50% said that they had decided first and foremost on a major, on a program that they wanted to pursue, and then went and found an institution that offered that particular program. All right, so the quotable quote of the day is as follows. Getting an MBA is buying your way into a network. That's all it is. I can learn the curriculum via podcasts, Audible, and YouTube. So there you have it. That's the recap of day one of the Enrollify podcast roadshow.